All right, let's dive into an idea that's, well, pretty simple, but incredibly powerful. It might just change the entire way you think about your own mind. We often think of our minds like a computer, right? Or some kind of machine.
But what if we tried a different metaphor? What if your mind was a garden? I mean, really think about that for a second. If your mind is this living, breathing space, what changes? How would you treat it? What kinds of seeds would you be planting in there? And what would you be hoping to grow?
This idea is captured perfectly in an ancient African proverb, and it's really the seed for this whole explainer. It tells us that knowledge isn't just something you get, it's something you have to actively cultivate. And you know what? If you don't do the work, there's just no harvest. It's as simple as that. Okay, so why even bother, right? In a world that is just packed with distractions, why should we put in all this effort to tend to this mental garden? What's the real value of the harvest we're aiming for anyway? Well, for starters, the potential is just limitless. Nelson Mandela didn't see education as just, a self improvement project. For him, it was a weapon, a powerful tool that could literally change the world. So the harvest from your Arden, it's not just for you. It actually has the power to change everything around you. There's this amazing Swahili proverb that says wisdom is wealth. And when you look at it this way, you can see exactly why. Material wealth, money, it's finite. It can disappear. And when you give it away, well, you have less of it. But wisdom, that's a totally different story. It's infinite. It's yours forever. And get this, the best part is it actually grows the more you share it. How cool is that? Benjamin Franklin put it in terms we can all understand: money. Think about any other investment out there. It's got risks. Stocks can crash. Real estate can lose value. But investing in your own knowledge, that's the one asset that just keeps compounding, paying you back for the rest of your life. It's a sure thing. And you know what's wild? Unlike, say, hard physical labor, this kind of investment actually energizes you. Leonardo da Vinci was all over this. He knew that real learning doesn't drain your mind. It fuels it. It keeps you curious, active, and alive. So the bottom line here is pretty clear. The harvest is absolutely priceless, and just doing the work makes us stronger. Well, listen, a beautiful harvest like that, it doesn't just happen. It takes work. You got to get your hands dirty. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of cultivation, which, yeah, it starts with tending to what can sometimes be some pretty bitter roots. Aristotle was, let's just say, brutally honest about this whole process. He said, the roots of education are bitter. And that's the part we don't always love to talk about, right? It's the late night studying, that feeling of frustration when you just can't grasp a concept, the sheer discipline it takes to learn a new skill. It's tough. It can be really demanding. But, and this is a big but, that is only half the story. The full quote ends with this incredible payoff. But the fruit is sweet. And that's the aha moment, the breakthrough, that amazing feeling of clarity when it all finally clicks. It's the confidence you get from mastering something. And, the sweetness of the fruit is a direct reward for the hard work you put in. So, how do we actually do this? What does cultivation look like day to day? Well, first, we've got to listen. A wise proverb warns that a fool despises instruction. So, step one is just being open to guidance. Second, you have to embrace the effort. You just have to accept that those bitter roots are part of the deal. And third, you never stop digging. You always stay curious. You never, ever think your garden is done. And all of this brings us to the final and maybe the most important part of this whole journey. So you've done the work, you've cultivated your garden, you've tasted that sweet fruit. Now what? What do you do with it all? What's the ultimate purpose of the harvest? Maya Angelou just nails the purpose perfectly. It's simple. When you learn, teach. When you get, give. Knowledge isn't something you're supposed to hoard. It's a cycle. Learning comes with this amazing responsibility to teach, and getting something valuable comes with the pure joy of giving it away. And here's the real magic of it all. Sharing your harvest doesn't leave you with less. It actually deepens what you have. I mean, think about it. When you try to explain something to someone else, you have to get it crystal clear in your own head first. It's like you learn it all over again, but this time, even more profoundly. And that brings us right back to the beginning, full circle. The best gardeners, the best teachers, are the ones who never ever stop learning themselves. The second you think your own garden is perfect and doesn't need any more work, well, that's the moment you can't really help anyone else with theirs. That cycle of learning and teaching, getting and giving, it has to keep going.
So, the garden of your mind has been tended. You've put in the work and you've tasted that sweet fruit. Now there's really only one important question left to ask. Your harvest is ready. Who are you going to share it with?